Hey, I'm Brad Klemetson. I'm a physical therapist. Today we're going to be talking about headaches and migraines. I've got some really important concepts to go over with you and that we can go into more depth in the future, maybe on some other videos, or come in and talk with me. So when it comes to headaches and migraines, a couple things you've got to understand. First, you need to understand pain. Pain is a very complex science, and we used to think it was one part of the brain. Now we understand it's all parts of the brain. But the most important thing you need to take away from this video today is that your nerves normally sit at a certain level. This book has a really good depiction of this. So when our nerves sit at this lower level and then they have little ups and downs, it never crosses this line and doesn't send a signal until it's stimulated. And then it needs to send that signal to your brain. And it comes up, it passes this point and sends that signal. Well, when our nerves are hypersensitive, they sit a lot closer to that level. So even small stimuluses will send a big signal that shouldn't have been sent up to the brain. So we need to help tone down that system. When it comes to headaches and migraines, you need to understand it's a holistic problem. So you've got to look at every aspect of your life. If you've worked with other doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, and you're not seeing results, don't give up. There are answers out there. Have you looked at your sleep? Are you getting enough sleep at night? Men need 7 to 9 hours and women need 8 to 10 hours every night. And for me, 7.5 is enough. And for my wife, 9.5, 10 is what she needs. And it really depends on the person. If you're not getting enough sleep, that adds stress. If the next one is water, how much water are you getting every single day? A lot of people think 64 ounces, right? That's the general go-to, 8 glasses of water. That's actually not enough for most people. We need half our body weight in ounces generally. If you're active at all, you need more because you're sweating off some of that water. So really look at your water intake. And what I teach all of my patients is if you're only drinking 8 or 16 ounces a day, don't just jump up and do 64 ounces per day. Like, you're not ready for that. Your body will not be able to utilize it appropriately. And in some cases, it's not safe. So make sure that you're building up slowly. Take your 16 and go up to 24, and then go up to 45 and work your way up gradually and get to that point where you're supposed to be. For me, I've got to be drinking 100, 120 ounces a day. It does feel like a lot, but there are techniques that I can teach you to help you get in those fluid ounces and make it a lot more natural for you. The next one you need to consider is your nutrition. What type of foods are you eating? Sugars increase your inflammatory levels. Things like ginger and turmeric help bring down your inflammation levels. And then are you getting proteins that give you energy? Or are you getting a lot of carbs and things that slow you down and add stress and inflammation to your system? What times of day are you eating? We need to be eating more in the morning when we can utilize those calories throughout the day instead of at night when our body's going to break it down and then store it. There's also different food sensitivities. They've shown that about 1/3 of the population are really sensitive to getting migraines from certain kinds of foods. What kind of foods don't work well for you? Is it certain kinds of wine? Is it chocolate? You've got to try out some of those things for yourself. When you're looking for these answers, sometimes it takes weeks of trial and error, right? You got to try removing certain foods from your diet. The next thing you got to look at is other stressors. So there are hormone stressors, right? Whether it's with different, like the time of the month, or if it's stressors like your where you live. If you live here in Utah, then your stressors are going to be higher from the higher altitude. A lot of people, their migraines and headaches go away as soon as they move to the coast because they're closer to sea level. And then the last one I want to talk about is your physical stressors. What's your posture look like? When you're sleeping in your bed at night? Do you have too many pillows pushing your head forward? Are you sleeping on your side, on your stomach? What posture do you put yourself in? And then what do you do all day? When you're sitting at your desk at work, are we leaning forward? Do we set up our desk ergonomically? And then are we taking breaks? You should be getting up every hour at least and spending 5 minutes walking around, stretching, moving your head around. Your eyes need this, that your eyes will strain over time. And what's interesting, there's a lot of research on this that shows that you will actually be more effective throughout the whole day if you take those breaks. So you think, I can't step away from work, I got to keep going. You're getting less done because you didn't stop and take a 5-minute break. It's the same thing like a marathon runner. If you guys follow us, you know we've got an athlete, Clayton, freaking stud. He just did a competition. If he's out there and he runs 26 miles or 66 miles or 100 miles and never stops, then he's going to have problems, right? Especially if he does that every day. My brother got injured running a half marathon every single weekend. He wasn't taking the time to recover. So Clayton, with this race, every hour he'd finish his lap and then he could take some time and rest, recover a little bit, and then go again. And he's able to run a lot farther than he would normally be able to if he didn't take those moments to rest and recover. So when it comes to your headache and migraine, pause, slow down, and understand that there are answers to this. You need to talk to the right professionals, the right medical staff who can help you break down your entire life. Look at what is causing your headaches. Every headache is different. One of the things that this book talks about, so if you guys are interested, this book's called Your Headache, and Adrian Lowe is one of the top specialists in pain science and has a lot of really good content. So I'd look into his stuff. But one of the things that this book talks about is the brain map. Let's see if I can find it. Your brain send signals all over the place. And I don't know if you can see this, but hopefully there's connections from different parts of your brain, right? So we need to understand that the brain is talking to different sections and talking to itself, and everybody's map looks different. You need to understand your map, your condition. So make sure that you're looking at it on an individual basis. And then when it comes to all this, you're looking at your whole life and all of that stuff, make sure that you stop and look, do you have an injury? Because the nerves, the blood vessels, the muscles in your neck, in and around your head, are a lot closer to your head, so they're going to be contributing to this headache and migraine more likely. There's things like cervical involvement, things with the ligaments in the vertebral, sorry, I'm using the wrong term, sorry. But the joints and bones in your neck have ligaments that support them, and if they're getting stretched and pulled on, that's going to cause headaches or at least add to your stress bucket, okay? So make sure that you're looking at your neck, looking at any damage or irritation to the joints in your neck and to those ligaments, and treat those just like any other injury. If you've got a strained hamstring, you're gonna do some rehab for it. Well, you've got strained muscles in your neck. And what's really cool, I want all of you right now to go on Google and just search trigger point pain referral patterns. If you look that up on Google, you'll see a bunch of images that show you that pain, pressure or a trigger point in your upper trap will refer pain up into your head. And pain or pressure or injury in the back of your head can cause pain in the front of your forehead. So make sure that you're looking not where your pain's at, but where it's coming from, and then let's treat that. So if you've got questions, throw them in the comments down below. Come into our clinic. We're happy to do a free consultation, teach you more about your headache and migraine, and look on our page, on our Instagram, Facebook for more videos about this type of content. Thanks for joining.